Nyamu. I'm the proprietor of this company, Ecast Technologies. I'm also a farmer, and I'm also own 1 or 2, 3 other companies. And you also know, I'm also in politics. I'm contesting for senator seat in Nyeri. Some of these things might not look like reality, but I can tell you, and I'll give you, like, this company alone, Ecast alone in this office here where you are, before COVID, there were 58 workers. Plus my branches, I used to have 112 workers. 112. That is by 2020. June, I had 112 workers. And the minimum earning worker in this company, who was a beginner and a casual, was earning 18,000, free NHIF and free NSSF. That is the lowest earning. And things have been very bad. Right now, as we speak, here in Ecast, there are 12 workers. Among the other businesses I have, I only have another 8 workers. So from 112, now I have 20 workers. You can imagine all these people have been fired. And we had no choice. We had no alternative. Because business went down. Things took a turn. And economy deteriorated. But like I keep on saying, the problem with this country did not start with Corona. I want to disagree. The problem with this country started with misuse of public resources. And if you look at the history of Wambugu Nyamu, for years, since I was the director of Citizen Initiative that we used to do social audit on governments, we've been fighting corruption, theft of public resources for a long time. And it even reached a point, money has become very scarce. You know very well in this country, when we were younger, it used to rain for 8 months and it used to be dry for 3 months. Now things have changed. Now it rains for 3 months, it's dry for 8 months. We did not plan well for this country. Our planners did not look into the future. You know very well climate change started in late 80s, and we are all aware. Did you plan well in water storage? Did we plan well in soil and water conservation? The cost of production of food, is it only about fertilizer? I tend to disagree. Fertilizer is not the only factor that is affecting production. I worked with the Ministry of Agriculture for 14 years as a lecturer and consultant. In fact, Kenya School of Agriculture is one of the pioneer people who wrote those curriculum there when I used to work there. And these factors are one. In the late 1980s, the government was warned that in 20 years' time, DAP fertilizer will burn ourselves and our productivity will go to less than half. Today in Nyeri, you plant maize in 1 acre, you can't get 8 bags. My father used to get 30. You plant beans, you can't get 3 bags. My father used to get 13 to 15 when I was young. Number 2, this country of ours is endowed with a lot of rainfall. And may I say in particularly Mount Kenya region, we are endowed with a lot of water. A lot of water. Mount Kenya region alone, we have more than 50 rivers and streams. Nyeri alone, we have 38 rivers and streams. We still rely on rain-fed agriculture. Find a lot of money is being pumped into irrigation schemes without water reservoirs. They're tapping water from rivers. So when these rivers dry, all the intakes dry. Yet all our rivers have gorges, the whole country. We can dam waters upstream to downstream. That is another factor. Number 2, the cost of fertilizer. From the time we were to start a factory of production of fertilizer in Mombasa in 80s, up to today, our country is still relying on imported fertilizer. Why are we not producing our fertilizer in our own country? But planning. 65% of our people are now unemployed. Where do we have 65% of our people unemployed? We exported all our industries to China. It's not even a joke. I'll give you my own personal experience. I was the first person to start electronic production in this country, of speed governors and trackers. And I used to have a lot of workers here. There was a time I had so many workers I had employed, young people, in that technology. But then the government decided to give two Chinese companies monopoly over the business. So out of the 45 speed governors we have in this country, 30 of them are produced by two companies in China. And 26 are produced by one company in China. And it is the government of issues that canvassed in those companies for the obvious things. And so, the number of jobs I would have created, can you imagine what it means? That time I used to have 105 workers here. That means what? 105 houses? One Sienna carries how many people? 8. 12 of them would land here and carry people. You can imagine how many mama mbogas were selling uji here and were selling mandazis. You can imagine the kind of ripple effect what I used to do had on this economy. We have exported our business to China. We have exported our manufacturing to China. Who caused that? And patriotic, greedy, and corrupt civil servants. Our industries have collapsed in this country. We have sold our bloodline to China. Who was responsible for that? Bad governance. So, when the production in a country is low and productivity is low, people don't have money to purchase. What happens? Economy goes down. When people lose jobs, what happens? They have no money to purchase. They have no money to buy food. So what happens? Things go haywire. Lastly, and I keep on saying, when you talk about corruption, you normally use the wrong word. I will tell you for certainty, starting with young, and I, Wambugu, Nyamu, will tell you what I know, is that for every government tender, for every money value for it, 40% goes to individuals, people's pocket, 30 to 40%, in terms of corruption, inflation of government projects. And most of these projects, they are loans. They are donor funded. We borrow from outside. So we are exporting our money, not only our jobs, we are also exporting our money outside. Kenya shilling now is about 121 shillings. The tea farmers will benefit, fine. But the majority of the people, goods and services become very expensive. As we talk, petrol is 154. So a vehicle that was spending 2,000 now is spending almost 3,000. And petrol is a very important aspect of production, same as diesel. So all those factors have led to the problems we have in this country. Do we have good laws and policies? Yes, we have. Did we implement them? No, we didn't. Where did you implement them? Because we elect politicians. You elect politicians. And we disregarded leaders. Now, the situation is not going to improve. The rains have failed. You can see, it didn't rain. So we're expecting June will even be worse. The cost of flour now is 130. Yeah? The cost of wheat flour is 200. How many people can afford to buy flour at 150? What is the level of income? People have lost jobs. 65% of the population now is jobless. So we are looking at a situation where we have hopelessness. I am a politician, I'm campaigning for Senate. You fear. In fact, we are deciding now, we are having an agreement, people should be carrying flour as you go for campaigns. Because this time is not a matter of Shoromai, it's not a matter of Shinakeni. Now people are asking for food, and they're serious. Lastly, school fees. I open for you my telephone here. From morning, I have had not less than 6 requests for assistance in school fees. Our children are home. Why are they home? Did we plan well? We didn't plan well. Did we invest in education? We invested, but in the wrong priorities. Today, a county school, you require school fees of 45,000. If you add transport, pocket money, maintenance, and other miscellaneous, you're talking about 60,000 a year. So when you divide by the 8 months they go to school, you're talking about 15,000 a month. How many people are earning that amount of money in Kenya? What is our average income, even for tea farmers and coffee farmers? So all the money that we collect in this country, why are we not subsidizing education? Why? Why do you pump so much money into road infrastructure? Look at our hospitals. I mean, it's serious, my friend. I wish I can get you the number of cards I have here. 500,000 bill, 800,000, 300,000, 1 million, 1.5 million. Jamani, hata wewe ukipata unashtuka. Hata mimi kama Wambugu Nyamu with my level, napata hiyo unashtuka. Na imagine if me I can strain with a hospital bill of 500,000, what about the common man? Why are we not investing in education? And I'll tell you lastly, the main purpose of a government, the main need of a government is food security, be it the county government or be it the national government. When there is food and people are fed well, crime goes down. So the second objective should be security. We don't have a serious problem with security, but it is coming because people have no food. You did invest in productivity of staple food, first and foremost. Our soils are spoiled. Where are we not promoting the traditional growth, or maybe the traditional growing of our food? We always blame the national government. Agriculture is a devolved function. It is the function of the county government. So the governor of Nyeri, the governor of Murang'a, the governor of Kiambu, they should tell us, where do we have a problem of production of food? Must we always rely on maize? Where are our planners? Where do we take them to school? If maize is not growing, and maize requires 8 months to grow, how much does sorghum require? How much does cassava require? Why are we not training our people into alternative food? We stop relying on maize. Production of cassava is very high. It doesn't require a lot. Why are we not doing that? Because county governments concentrate on building and road infrastructure because the people in those governments make money out of those roads. The average take for every road you want to get from the county government is you have to give a bribe of 200,000. So instead of the counties whose basic function is food security, instead of the nation whose basic requirement is food security, they are pumped money elsewhere. And that's why food is expensive. That's why there is no food. And you cannot talk about food without talking about water. So the problems we are facing has been as a result of 10 years of devolved government failures. And I think I repeated the same. Devolved government failures. The county government have never understood their role. And that's why I want to run for senator. These are the mistakes we need to correct. And they can only be corrected in the Senate. That of the money that we pump into the counties, 30% of that money should go into food security. Sio kununua tu avocado ngiri 5 hapa, unapatia wakulima unasema ni farming, unanunua 50,000 fingerlings ya fish, unasema you are assisting farmers. Now, not buying water pumps. Go now to Kenny. We have got a lot of pipes, but they are only having water for 2 days in a week. They can't irrigate crops. It's drinking water. And we have a lot of water. Why? Bad governance. Wrong priorities. Not policies. They are there. Until and when the people of Kenya elect leaders and they have to critically look at the history of the productivity of each and every leader they elect, we shall cry until we die. And the situation, my friend, is bad. It's not good. It's bad. It's bad. In fact, people are becoming violent. You know, they believe every politician is... Actually, the masses, it's like they believe every politician stole money. You know, they believe every politician goes to politics because he stole money. For those who know us, that we've worked for them, they are telling us now, Unajua nyinyi ndio mko serikali, naambia sisi hatuko serikali. We are going to look for a job in the serikali. Naambia hapana, tunataka unga. People asking for unga. The government should wake up. Because if it doesn't, and they should listen to me. There is no food, there is no money. There is no food, there is no money. People have been fired, people are at home, people are jobless. I have been telling the government, if it doesn't come up with a mitigation issue, and this virus is coming, it lands here in June, in July, this country will be on fire. People better look for food and feed the masses. Moi, with all his weaknesses, he used to feed the masses. Why can't our current government, county government, and government feed the masses? Why is the county government of Nyeri or Laikipia or Muranga feeding the poor and the people without money? Why is the national government not isolating money to feed those people without food and without money? Whose responsibility is that? It is a failure in governance. We are failing, seriously failing. And to be bad, I would urge Kenyans, when it comes to this election, anybody who had been in government before, vote them out. That is the only solution you have.